Hello, amazing English learners, and welcome back to the Smart English Podcast. I'm Mia, and I'm so excited to be here with you today, as always, joined by my fantastic co-host, Alex. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Mia, and a big hello to everyone listening out there. It's great to be back. I'm really looking forward to today's topic. It's something I hear a lot from our listeners.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving into a super common challenge for English learners, especially those at the A1 and A2 levels: how to understand fast English. You know, when native speakers talk really quickly and it just sounds like one long word? We've all been there, right?
Oh, definitely. It can feel like trying to catch water with your bare hands. Impossible. It's one of the biggest frustrations, I think, for new learners. They study grammar, they learn vocabulary, and then they hear native speakers and it's like a totally different language. It's a common experience, so if you're feeling that way, you're not alone at all. We're here to help you slow down that fast English, at least in your mind.
Exactly. So, Alex, let's jump right in. Why is it so hard for beginners to understand fast English? What's actually happening when someone speaks quickly?
That's a great question, Mia. There are a few main reasons. First, native speakers often link words together. For example, instead of "I am going to," we might say "I'm gonna." Or "what are you doing" becomes "what you doing." The sounds flow into each other, and it can be hard to hear where one word ends and the next begins. Second, we often use reduced sounds. Some vowel sounds get shorter or change. And third, of course, is just the speed itself. Our brains need time to process, and when it's super fast, it feels overwhelming. It's like listening to a song you don't know. It's just noise until you hear it a few times.
That makes so much sense. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I felt exactly the same way. It wasn't just the new words, but how they all squished together. It really makes you feel a bit lost, doesn't it?
Totally, Mia, and that feeling of being lost can be demotivating. But it's important to remember that this is a natural part of language learning. Even native speakers sometimes ask, "Wait, what did you say?" if someone speaks too fast or unclearly. So, what are some practical tips we can give our listeners to start tackling this?
Okay, so my first big tip is don't try to understand every single word. This is a common mistake. When you try to translate everything, you miss the overall message. Instead, focus on catching the main idea. What's the general topic? Who's talking? What are they talking about? Just try to get the gist of it.
Yes, absolutely. That's a huge one. It takes practice, but it's essential. My next tip would be to listen to different accents. Don't just stick to one type of English. Listen to American English, British English, Australian English. The more you expose your ears to different sounds and speeds, the more adaptable your brain will become. Think of it like training your ear muscles.
That's a brilliant point, Alex. And building on that, my next tip is to start with content that's designed for learners, like this podcast, or find YouTube channels with simplified English, news reports that are spoken slowly, or podcasts specifically for A1, A2 levels. Don't jump straight into a Hollywood movie with no subtitles. Baby steps.
Excellent advice. And once you feel a bit more comfortable, my next recommendation is to use subtitles strategically. Start by watching something with English subtitles. Listen and read at the same time. This helps connect the sound to the written word. Then try watching the same clip again without subtitles. You'll be surprised how much more you understand because your brain has already processed it once.
Oh, that's a classic trick, and it really works. I've used that myself. And another thing I'd add is practice regularly, even just a little bit. You don't need to do an hour a day. Even 10-15 minutes of focused listening every day can make a huge difference. Consistency is key when you're trying to build a new skill.
Absolutely, Mia. That consistency really pays off over time. And also, don't be afraid to mimic what you hear, not in a drill way, but just to get a feel for the sounds. If you hear a phrase you like, try to say it out loud, just for yourself. This helps your mouth and brain connect with the rhythm of English speech. I remember doing this when I was learning French. I'd listen to songs and just try to sing along, even if I didn't get every single word right. It really helped me get used to the flow.
That's such a natural way to practice. It makes it fun, which is super important. So we've talked about why it's hard and some general tips. Now, how can our listeners apply these tips in real life? What kind of content should they be looking for?
Great question, Mia. For real-life application, I'd say start with TV shows or movies you already know. If you've seen a movie in your native language, watch it again in English. You already know the story, so you won't be lost on the plot. Simple comedies, for example, often have clearer dialogue. Another great option is music. Listen to English songs, look up the lyrics, and try to sing along. Music is fantastic for rhythm and pronunciation.
That's a fantastic idea. I remember watching Friends over and over again when I was trying to improve my English listening. Because I knew the stories, I could focus on the language. It made a huge difference. And what about speaking with others?
Yes, of course. Engage in conversations with English speakers if you can. If you have friends who speak English, or if you join an online language exchange, let them know you're learning. Don't be shy to say, "Could you please speak a little slower?" or "Could you repeat that?" Most native speakers are happy to help. It's a two-way street.
That's a very important reminder. People are usually very understanding. Now, before we wrap up, let's introduce a few useful words and phrases related to our topic today. Alex, what have you got for us?
All right, here are a few terms that might help you talk about this challenge. First, catch the main idea. This means to understand the general point or most important message, even if you don't understand every single word. For example, I didn't understand everything, but I caught the main idea of the news story.
That's a really useful one. Okay, next.
Next up, link words. As we discussed, this refers to when words flow together in spoken English, making them sound like one. For example, did you eat yet often sounds like did you eat yet. The D sound links with the U sound. Understanding this can help you hear individual words better.
That's super helpful to know about. What else?
And finally, patience is key. This phrase means that being patient is very important for success. Learning to understand fast English doesn't happen overnight, so you need patience. For instance, learning a new language takes time. Patience is key.
Such an important reminder for all of us. So, to quickly recap everyone, don't try to understand every word, focus on the main idea, listen to different accents, use content for learners, watch with and without English subtitles, practice consistently, and don't be afraid to ask people to slow down. Patience really is key.
That's a perfect summary, Mia. It's a journey, not a race. Keep listening, keep practicing, and you'll definitely see improvement.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the Smart English Podcast. We hope these tips help you feel more confident when listening to fast English.
Yes, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more helpful English lessons.
Absolutely. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep enjoying your English journey. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.